Friday the 30th of April 2010. I'm here with Conor Roche from the Roundhouse. Good morning, Conor.
Good morning.
I wonder if you could just give us a brief introduction to yourself and give us some background about what you do with the Roundhouse.
Yeah, my name is Conor Roche. I'm the head of broadcast and new media at the Roundhouse. So I look after all the various digital outlets at the Roundhouse, including Roundhouse Radio. We have an online magazine and blog, various creative things that we do with social media, and also a live internet broadcasting. So any of the events that we would stream live over our website, both video and audio, I look after those offerings.
Sure. So you hinted at some possible strategies there, but I wonder if you could tell us a bit more about how the internet's directly affecting the approaches that the Roundhouse have taken.
Yeah, I think in terms of really the idea of a venue is, I suppose, the most obvious thing to start with. The Roundhouse is a well-known venue that sits in Camden in London. However, it's also known beyond London and beyond the UK as well. And I suppose really what we're trying to do is change this idea that a venue is a building that you need to attend to in order to experience what happens at that venue. That we can actually go and provide audiences online, nationally and internationally, with events that happen, with content that reflects what happens at the Roundhouse within the building. So it's this idea of going out and finding new audiences beyond London and beyond the sort of locale of the venue itself. There is one particular event series of events that we run at the Roundhouse, and it's called Black Box. And we invite artists, usually bands, to come to the Roundhouse, and we provide them with an opportunity to dress one of our studio spaces in any way that they would want. We match them up with a video director, and we say to them, right, if you were to perform in any space, sort of in your world, what would it look like and how would it be? And they work with a video director to come up with this set. They then play a set, they play a performance live in that space without an audience. Without a live audience. We record and we broadcast live that event to an online audience. So the only people who are able to actually see the event as it occurs are people who tune in live at that particular time. And this happens once a month. But what's key to that particular piece is the social media activity and the communications around the event. People sharing anecdotes, people sharing, what they're doing at home at that particular time, reactions to particular tunes or reactions to particular gestures by the artists or whatever. That's absolutely key to it, and that gets sort of the community talking and really reflecting on a show that they're watching at home, or that otherwise they'd be watching at home on their own, where they're now interacting with a live and engaged community. And we do that once a month, and that'll be something that will be ongoing, and that's an example of how we're trying to engage that online community using those tools. And let me just go and explain briefly what we do in the studios. Studios lies beneath the main space, and it's a creative centre for young people between the ages of 11 to 25 to come and access facilities and gain experience within the creative industries, to have an opportunity to sort of explore their own creative ambition in a place that's secure, forward-thinking, and also to allow them to get what they create in the studios out to the world. So if any musicians down here producing some music, what we will do is we will take that music and then try and get that out using our own network and our own sort of digital platforms. So the idea of the Roundhouse, again, is not just a space where people perform, but it's a place where this content is created, where emerging talent can come down and try and realize their own creative ambitions, and then we in turn then will use that content to communicate to our audiences what happens in the studios, and hopefully in the process get some of these young artists and emerging talent out there in the world.
Sure, so it's interesting to see how the notion of the physical space and the virtual space becoming sort of more aligned in your vision going forward, I guess. I guess it's quite essential these days, really, to keep abreast of what's happening and have this kind of grow these communities that can exist in both of those spaces.
Yeah. I mean, I think for any organisation, or even for any business, where the Roundhouse is a charity, but for an organisation that needs to continue to grow and progress, using what tools are available to you is absolutely essential. But I think there's more to it than that. I mean, for the first time, you can actually collaborate with artists around the world. You can actually share work with like-minded folk from around the world. You can actually take what you've made and you can use that to engage with somebody that's somewhere across the other side of the globe. So as an arts organisation, just to be focused on the building itself, just to be focused on location would be very close-minded. What we need to do is realise that there are networks of people who want to create good stuff, tap into those networks, and in turn help get the artists that we work with and the young people that we work with and the emerging talent that we work with to get their stuff out there. So it's not just a sort of part of the business plan per se, it's a no-brainer to help the guys that we work with get out there.